Hey everybody, Michael Batiste from the Elk Calling Academy, where we give you your blueprint for success in the elk woods. Welcome back to Wapiti Wednesday Q&A. Tonight's question, I apologize, I didn't write down where it came from, so if you're the one that submitted this question, please send us a message so that we can get your prize out to you. But tonight's question is, how close to the elk do you camp? And I'm going to answer this in two parts. One, we're going to go base camp, which is basically camping out of your vehicle, your main camp. The second part is going to be backcountry, whether you're backpacking in, horses, motorcycles. There's a lot of different ways to get into the backcountry. So first part, I kind of take a different approach with each one. So when I'm base camping, I have a good general idea of the area that I'm hunting, or it's an area that I've hunted for years, and I break it up. I have different areas that I hit on different days. So I will try to set my camp kind of in the middle. So it doesn't matter which direction I go. It's about the equal travel distance to that trailhead or that pull off on the road or the gate, wherever I'm starting my morning hike and morning hunt from. Like I said, so place your camp kind of in the middle. Usually with that style of camping out of the vehicle, the base camp, I'm usually down along a creek bed or something like that. So, there's water access and your thermals are easier to control. Typically, I've ran into people all the time when I've been out hunting and I'm checking roads or exploring new territory. And there was one I remember, I took this little spur road and it dead ended. And when I got to the dead end, there was a camp there. And it was a husband and wife, and they were in camp. And so I stopped and got out and talked to them. And it was funny because they were explaining to me, man, when we were up here scouting, there was elk tracks all over the end of this road and elk all over on this hillside and right over the top into this little draw. And now there's just nothing. And I'm thinking, well, yeah, that's because you're camping in their bedroom. So, why not camp out on the end, where people turn off the main road if you really wanted to do that. So really pay attention to the tracks. You don't want to set up a camp right in the middle where elk are living. Also, you don't want to be set up on a main road that has a lot of traffic. That just creates a lot of dust on your equipment and your gear, and it's just not that much fun. So pick a camp that's kind of in the middle of access points that you're going to hunt. So now backcountry, like I said, this is if you hiked in or rode horses in or motorcycle. There's a few motorcycle trails that I hunt off of, and we ride the bikes in 9-10 miles and set up camp. Again, really pay attention to where the elk are living. Their bedding areas, their watering areas, their feeding areas, their travel corridors. You don't want to camp right on top of them. So biggest thing that you're trying to do is control your scent. So, no matter how much scent control we use, we're never going to be 100% scent free. So we always want to play the wind. Well, the wind in the morning and the evenings are blowing down the hill, and during the day as the temperature rises, it turns and goes up the hill. So you want to pick a camp spot where your scent's not going to be blowing up the hill, especially if it's a place where you're wanting to hunt up above. So again, one thing that I really like to do is camp near creeks, because usually the thermals by the creek will continue to blow down and follow that creek. So I'm not too worried about my camp smell per se, drifting up the hill. Now, obviously, when you're backcountry hunting, you are taking dehydrated meals, and so you're really not quite cooking like you are in a base camp. So a lot of those food smells and stuff really don't get on you as bad or waft around the area. But you do want to be far enough away from the elk that your scent is not going to alter their daily patterns. If you can keep the elk in their daily routine, daily pattern as much as possible, your chances for getting into bulls and call-ins goes up dramatically. So now, how far away from the hunting area? You know, you're already back there. It doesn't take that long to cover 3/4 of a mile or a mile to get to areas that you want to hunt. So I've even done it where I've camped on lower ends of, you know, great big ravines, draws, valleys, whatever you want to call them, and then work my way up the bottom following the creek a little bit, and then branching off and splitting up on the sides once it got a little bit lighter. So you know, so a good 3/4 of a mile to a mile is a safe rule. And it may be that to obtain that, you might have to pop up over the top of a ridge into a next draw to avoid that group of elk you're hunting with, but there may be a group in that next draw. So really pay attention to sign. If you're getting into fresh tracks, fresh droppings, you know, a lot of fresh sign, you probably want to go a little ways away from that. So, all right, hope that answers your question about how close to elk to camp. If you guys haven't submitted questions, please do so in the comment section below. If we do pull your questions, we will definitely send you out a prize. Could be a reed quiver from Bendable Products. I have some Huntress diaphragm reeds from Wapiti River Outdoors. I have some black amps from Phelps Game Calls. So we do have some goodies to send you guys. If you've missed some of the Wapiti Wednesday Q&A sessions before, at the end of this video, there will be a little tab right down here that you can click on and go over and watch those. And also, if you haven't caught the Beginner's Guide to Elk Calling, you can click right up here. Now, if you are new to our channel, please consider subscribing. You can click right here and do that. All right, guys, as always, we appreciate you guys. Thank you for following us. Thank you for your support. Keep practicing, keep calling, but most of all, have fun. All right, guys, we'll see you next week on the next Wapiti Wednesday Q&A.